Hi Pisces, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your January 2021 love reading. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season and Happy New Year. And thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as personal readings go, I'm going to start them up again sometime in January, just not sure of the date yet. But when I decide to start them up, I'll make an update in the community section of the channel. And as far as what we have in front of us, this is why I call it a bridge and a gap spread. And the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. And we'll look at the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards with some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And also keep in mind it's a general reading. So I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person. If you feel like that should be the other way around, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have 2 of coins. So this is actually Capricorn energy here. And what always stands out to me is the 2 coins, how we see the one with the red heart, and then the other one just looks like it's icy or grayed out. So it could just be saying that your feelings for this person in the past were hot and cold. You know, one minute you were into them, the next you weren't. And this could just be saying that that's been going on for quite a while, because we see like the wind kind of looks like an infinity symbol there. So it could just be a repetitive cycle you've been in with this person, where one minute you want to be with them, the next you don't. Could be someone you've been friends with for a while, or possibly even someone you might work with. And the past energy on their side, we have the Empress. So this is a Venusian energy, usually could point to either Taurus or Libra energy, but what stands out to me the most with this is that it definitely just says to me that this is someone who kind of just sits back and lets things come to them. So I feel like, if you guys were in that energy, it doesn't really look like they were necessarily being too aggressive toward you either. So that probably didn't help things any, as far as, you trying to make up your mind as to whether you wanted to be with the person or not. But that's why I see there, could be someone that's considered pretty attractive as well. And maybe they get a lot of attention from other people, but it looks like for whatever reason you weren't too sure as to whether you wanted to move forward with this person or not. Present position on your side, we have the 8 of Cups, which is actually Pisces energy. The 5 of Staves, which is Leo energy. And the 7 of Coins, which is Taurus energy. So, again, for some of you, I get the feeling that it could be someone that you might actually work with, but if that's not the case, what stands out to me with 8 of Cups traditionally, it usually represents when someone walks away from a connection to look for something more fulfilling. And the artwork in this deck in particular really stands out to me because it's almost hard to tell if she's actually leaving or if she's coming back, right? But with the cups, what stands out to me is we see the 7 cups off to one side and then that 1 cup by itself. And what always stands out to me is the fact that those hearts look filled in on those 7 cups and then that one looks blank. So could just be you guys deciding that, it looks like this person isn't ready for a relationship. So that could have been what it was for you guys, where, actually you guys might have been the ones considering whether you wanted something serious or not. But he might have decided that it doesn't look like they were in that energy. So he might have just, tried to maybe pursue other connections. Well, this isn't the present position, so maybe this is what you're doing now. But then I feel like you're not necessarily finding what you're looking for going that route either. And again, as far as what I was saying with the, you feeling like this person might not be ready for a commitment, you might just view them as a bit more immature. So, if we look at the 2 people there, it looks like she's kind of looking down on that person. So, and 7 of Coins usually represents, looking at an investment you made and deciding if you want to continue on that path or not. So that's what I'm seeing there. Present energy on their side, though, we have the Chariot. So this is actually the major arcana card for Cancer. And timeline-wise, this could just be pointing to that full moon that we're going to have in Cancer toward the end of December. But seeing this card here, to me it represents them actually coming out of that receptive energy and actually coming into a more masculine energy and taking action toward the connection. So, in the past, they might have been more passive with you, but here in the present, it looks like they're actually going to be taking action to approach you guys. And usually the chariot represents movement, travel, success. So, looks like they at least have confidence that this would work out. All right. And in the future position on your side, we have the Eight of Swords, or Eight of Arrows in this deck, which is Gemini energy, and Sacrifice, which is the equivalent of the Hanged Man, which is Pisces energy. So, really what I'm seeing here is that Eight of Arrows energy. So we saw the Eight of Cups there. Now we see the Eight of Arrows, which to me represents just, not being able to move forward. Worried about making the wrong move, I would say. So that's what I'm seeing there. You could be getting stuck in your head. Given that for you guys, Gemini is fourth house energy, it could even just be pointing to, for example, maybe you don't think your family would approve of this person for whatever reason. So that could be why you're kind of, withdrawing and not really putting a lot of effort toward the connection. And with Sacrifice, it looks like, at least for the time being, probably due to you not responding, this might actually lead to this person walking away. Or again, it might actually be you walking away. Especially for those of you who, like I said, maybe you feel like your family wouldn't approve of the person. That's kind of what I'm seeing there. It doesn't look like this is necessarily the path you want to go. So it could just be one of those things where you might be feeling pressured, whether it's from this person directly or from people in your environment who feel like, oh, we don't know if this person's right for you. But that's what I'm seeing there. And future energy on their side, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is actually Virgo energy here, which is your opposite sign. And it usually represents stability, success. We see all that fruit there, which to me represents fertility within the connection. So it looks like they were actually, really looking for something serious here. And again, like I said, it looks like you guys just weren't there. Whether it's from others' opinions or you just feeling like, overwhelmed because maybe this person was moving a bit too fast for your liking. So it's kind of funny too, because if it's one of those things where if it was them being in that Empress energy in the past, that might have bothered you where you're like, okay, this person's not moving toward me at all. I don't know what to think of that. It would almost be like a be careful what you wish for type thing, because then with the Chariot, it looks like they're definitely taking action. And then with the Ten of Pentacles, it looks like now they're the ones moving at a faster speed than you. But for others of you, you could just be saying that from the beginning you weren't too sure. Your feelings would be hot and cold for this person. But bottom of the deck on your side, we do have Desire, which is the equivalent of the Chariot card. So they have it in the present. You have it at the bottom of the deck on your side. It's called Desire in this deck. So for a lot of you, I feel like you do actually want to be with this person, but for whatever reason, it looks like just a disconnect in the energy and the way they're moving. Because like I said in the past, they might not have been putting in enough effort. Now you might feel like they're overwhelming you and you're like, okay, but I feel like underneath it all, the desire is still there. So it looks like it might be a bit of a bumpy ride for a bit. Toward the very end of January, you guys are going to have Mercury retrograde in your 12th house in Aquarius. So that could be part of the issue too. Bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So I will say, for those of you who are like I was saying, with the Chariot energy, not Chariot, excuse me, with the Sacrifice energy, if they do end up walking away from the connection because it seems like you're not really willing to move forward or maybe even communicate with them for that matter. What stands out to me with the artwork in this card is the way, let me see if I can get to focus. There we go. See, he has the scissors and he's like cutting some of her hair. And usually that Nine of Pentacles energy represents independence, usually being single. So to me, what stands out there with that scissor, it's like even if they do leave because they feel like they have to because they're not really getting anything from you, I feel like this is saying that they would still hold on to the connection to an extent, probably just hold on to hope, if nothing else, that things could work out. So if you definitely do want this person out of the picture, you might want to make that clear to them. But yeah, like I said, for a lot of you, it seems like there's some kind of outside circumstance that's blocking you from moving forward. That's what I see there. All right. Next, we'll move on to the Oracle decks, and the first one we'll look at is the Aqua Moonlight deck here. I did pre-shuffle this one, and what we're looking for is just some jumpers. So first we'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, we'll just move on to the next Oracle deck. But sometimes we can get some additional messages here that can be helpful. Oh, got one. And now we'll see if we get any from them to you. Got one there. So if it would get off, there we go. Okay. So on your side, we have influences. There we go. It says, I'm distracted right now. So that certainly would make sense, especially that Eight of Arrows energy. If nothing else, I was feeling that there, where, like I said, it looks like there's something going on. Like I said, for some of you, could just be family or people in your environment that might be asking questions, and maybe they disapprove of this person for whatever reason. Could be, I was saying maybe this is someone you work with, but I guess another way it could be playing out too is maybe you guys just have some, things that you're dealing with as far as work goes. For example, we just had that new moon eclipse in Sagittarius, which is your 10th house of career and social status. So that's certainly another thing that could have possibly been a factor as well, with those pentacles showing up there. And then on their side, speaking of career, we have finances. It says, I'm busy with work right now and it requires my attention. Interesting. Quite frankly, I'm not really seeing them with that energy. If anything, like I was saying, it possibly could have been you guys, but with the Empress energy, that can be someone who's definitely focused on finances for sure. And with the Chariot, for some of you, then that could even represent that maybe they have to travel for work, and maybe that's part of what causes the issue with the connection. But with that Ten of Pentacles there, if they are focused on work with the Ten of Pentacles in the future position, I feel like that's saying that it would come to an end for them rather soon. But like I said, for some of you, maybe that's the disconnect too, where maybe you guys are just too caught up with your work. And like I said, for some of you, I still feel like that could be a thing though, where maybe some of you work together, and that's the problem where you're like, I don't know if I want to go down that path with this person. But hopefully that resonated with you in some way. And lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom Oracle deck here. And same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck too. But we'll just be looking for one card here with general advice, and we'll wrap up. Nope, already got one. All right. That was easy. So, you guys got Deep Knowing. There's the artwork, and the number is 43. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay, it says intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, hypersensitivity. The oracle's message. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with Source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of human experience. You're given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then to act accordingly. You're now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. So an interesting message there because when I was reading that made me think of the Eight of Arrows, and that could just be saying that you might be getting some kind of messages, maybe intuitively that you're feeling, but maybe for whatever reason you're kind of ignoring those. So definitely try to stay tuned into your intuition this month, especially because, like we said, there's plenty of energy that's going to be in your 12th house in January, basically. So that could definitely be a factor there. All right, the relationship message says there are occasions when you just know, deep in your heart and soul, that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path, and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time, etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. So the thing about when it said your intuition about the person you care about is correct, again, I'm being drawn to that Eight of Arrows with the sacrifice energy, especially since that being the Hangman, that is the card that represents your sign. So especially if around that full moon in Cancer, like I said, toward the end of December, if you're getting some kind of signs and synchronicities, you might want to trust those because they seem like they would be right. But yeah, hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season and a happy new year, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.